احنا بنتكلم في كل الامور دي النهارده: digital, architectural, real estate, brokerage, development, marketing. وهبدأ بالماركتنج. انا عادة ببدأ بالاركيتكتشر، بس I will start with the marketing غالبا today. احنا دلوقتي we're running حوالي 15 minutes late، يعني في 15 دقيقة كده اتحركت في اليوم. فكمان 5 دقايق we're expecting more people، بس عشان الوقت احنا هنبدأ، هم ان شاء الله يحصلونا when they arrive. احنا حوارنا النهارده عن موضوع بنسميه productization of real estate development. productization يعني احنا بنصنع من الوحدات العقارية، والنهارده هنتكلم بالأخص على الريزيدنشال ريل استيت السكني، منتج. هو طبعا زي أي منتج، هو احنا الفيلا أو الوحدة الأبارتمنت، فهي منتج، ولكن لا تعامل كالمنتج today by the real estate ecosystem. فأنا هوضح what I mean by this وليه ده مهم بالنسبة لنا. بس نبدأ الأول with an idea with a graph. يمكن مش عارف لو واضحة ولا لأ. فيها 4 خطوط. الخطين اللي فوق الأخضر والبرتقالي ده دول البرودكتيفيتي أو مدى إنتاجية تقريبا كل القطاعات الأخرى غير قطاع التطوير العقاري والكونستراكشن. بنشوف عبر السنين البرودكتيفيتي بتزيد في تقريبا كل المجالات أو كل القطاعات الأخرى. productivity ده الميجر بتاعه بيكون من كذا طريقة. ممكن نشوفه من value added per FTE، أو يعني الفاليو اد لكل موظف بيشتغل في شركة في القطاع ده، أو total factor productivity which is an economic measure عن productivity بشكل عام في الاقتصاد. فعلى مدار السنين all industries are becoming more productive because of improvements in technology above everything. improvements in technology. التقنيات اللي بتستعملها القطاعات دي. والصورة اللي تحت هي صورتنا بقى احنا، قطاع العقار والكونستراكشن والإنشاء. الخط الأحمر هو الفاليو اد بير FTE، والخط الأزرق هو التوتال فاكتور برودكتيفيتي. يعني مش حتى بس we're staying stable إن ما بنتحسنش، لا بل نتجه للأسوأ. طب غريبة يعني ليه وفين المشكلة؟ تعرفوا مبنى الامباير ستيت بيلدينج؟ الاركيتكت اكيد هيكون عارف المبنى ده. The Empire State Building is a building in New York، في مدينة نيويورك سيتي. الامباير ستيت بيلدينج ده اتبنى من 100 سنة تقريبا، 1930. كان أعلى مبنى اتبنى و it remained as the highest tower in the world لمدة 30 سنة تقريبا. طبعا الآن أطول مبنى في العالم هو برج خليفة في دبي. بس وقتها من 100 سنة تقريبا كان الامباير ستيت بيلدينج، وكان لمدة 30 سنة تقريبا the highest tower in the world، وكان 102 طابق، 102 floors. بالتالي أول مرة كنا نعدي ال 100 طابق. فطبعا كان يعني شبه المعجزة وقتها. أنا عايز أسألكم، تفتكروا يعني من خبرتكم في الإنشاء وفي التطوير، تفتكروا اتبنى في كام سنة؟ يعني لو تخمن تقول اتبنى المبنى المهول ده في كام سنة؟ من 100 سنة تقريبا. If you were to guess, what would you guess? 5 سنوات. ده أنا خمنت 5 سنوات كمان لما اتسألت. 10 سنوات. 10 سنوات. Do you have a guess? تعرف؟ 8 سنوات. 1 year and 45 days تقريبا، يعني plus or minus a few days. الشالن كور بتاع المبنى ده اتبنى في سنة وشهر وشوية، سنة وشهر ونص. سنة وشهر ونص من 100 سنة. أقول لكم we're going down. فغريبة. أيوة نعم steel structure prefab كل ده، ولكن مع ذلك إحنا لو عندنا الرسومات دي دلوقتي it will take us longer to build this building probably. something happened, we're going backwards. بنتراجع في الإنتاجية بتاعت قطاعنا، سواء التطوير أو الإنشاءات. وفي أسباب عديدة يعني ليه كده. أول حاجة مثلا HSE requirements بتزيد، regulation بيزيد، والتكنولوجي is not keeping up. كمان real estate ecosystem is fragmenting dramatically. يعني عندك developer والcontractor والsubcontractors والdesign consultant والsupervising consultant والPMC وكده. وبعدين ده لسه كل ده بنتكلم في الدليفري، لسه ما اتكلمناش في السيلز، الماركتنج ايجنسي، وسيط العقاري الى اخره، وما اتكلمناش في الاوبريشنز. فالريل استيت ديفلوبمنت اندستري has become very fragmented and our technology is not keeping up. We need a solution. We need a technology solution to improve our productivity. طبعا اغلب الوقت اللي احنا بنضيعه in a development project هو coordinating between stakeholders. ف 50-60% of projects are coordinating between stakeholders because there is no common data environment, there are no technology enabled workflows. ففي النهاية المشكلة إنه إحنا لحد الآن بنبني مبانينا بالشكل ال very manual labor intensive ده سواء في ال planning stage أو في ال delivery stage. But everything else we build is much more automated, much more technology enabled, much more productized. فالنتيجة إنه يعني we expect إن إحنا هنبني حاجة جميلة كده و sustainable والنتيجة اللي بناخدها في النهاية طبعا بتكون مخيبة للأمل شوية. ومش بس في ال delivery بل كمان في البيع. When it comes to selling يعني we still sell real estate in a very very traditional way. Very high touch. كان لسه حد بيتكلم تحت في ال presentation اللي فات عن ال viewings و 9 out of 10 viewings are useless لكن everything else we sell online digitally through platforms وهو ده اللي الجيل الجديد دلوقتي ابتدى يعني to expect. ف the future of real estate development واحنا حاليا we're focusing on residential real estate but this applies to all real estate. The future of real estate development is productized, digitally deployed, relies on digital tools, and customer centric. Honestly, most things now need to be, if not all, customer centric. There's a huge opportunity if we identify the right technologies لو نوظف التكنولوجيز بشكل مناسب. There's a huge opportunity in productivity القطاع بتاعنا ممكن to experience. طبعا قطاعنا هو if you look at it يمكن أكبر قطاع في أي اقتصاد. يعني بتتراوح estimates بس over $12 trillion per year is spent on construction. ده رقم مهول. وزي ما الجماعة قالوا تحت في البانل currently the pipeline of projects في المملكة لوحدها over $1 trillion. A small improvement would make a very big difference. طيب أنا عايز أنتقل دلوقتي للmain part of the presentation. ده كان بس كده تمهيد introduction. The main part of the presentation هو more interesting. And we will cover two things. We will cover an example of a tool that uses technology to digitize the design and delivery stage of real estate development. And we will do this through this example of a product that our company provides, Neighbor, called the Digital Factory. And we will also cover an example of a virtual showroom for sales and marketing, which reimagines the customer journey. تغيير جذري للطريقة المشتري بيشتري بيها الوحدة العقارية. أوكي. في أي سؤال أو استفسار في النقطة دي ولا أدخل في الموضوع على طول؟ زي ما وعدتكم هنبدأ الأول بالماركتينج اند سيلز بارت. عادة أنا ببدأ بالديجيتال فاكتوري بس هنخلي الديجيتال فاكتوري بعد ما نغطي الماركتينج اند سيلز. هل في حد اشترى عقار من قريب سواء في المملكة أو شراء؟ كان إيه التجربة؟ ممكن تقول لنا كده نبذة يعني دقيقة عن تجربتك. كلمت مين؟ دفعت فين؟ رحت؟ كانت أرض ولا وحدة؟ أرض. طب في حد شرى وحدة سكنية؟ في الرياض؟ تمام. اهم شيء انه برضه بعد يكون الخدمه ما بعد صحيح. هنشوف هنتكلم عن موضوع الخدمه ده لانه فعلا في غايه الاهميه. اللي هشارككم النهارده مع يعني what I will share with you هو تخيل ل the new journey for buying a residential unit سواء فيلا أو شقة. والjourney starts online. بتروح الويب سايت للمطور او ويب سايت اجريجيتور زي مثلا منصه سكني. and you see كل المطورين هناك والprojects. and you click on one project and you land on a page that shows you يعني an image للproject ده، وبعدين بيبتدي بقى يفهم من المشتري what are you looking for، احتياجاته. مثلا انا I want a 2 bedroom off plan أو ready to move. بس طبعا الأوف بلان is more interesting لأن الأوف بلان أنت ما فيش حاجة، لسه صحراء، ما حدش شايف الوحدة، فطبعا أهمية تطبيق وجيرني زي ده بتكون أعلى حتى في الأوف بلان. فlet's say I pick a 2 bedroom unit، بعدين I move on. One of the things that this does is بتحول اليونت إلى shelf space. يعني إيه shelf space؟ الايفونز اللي معانا دلوقتي هم فيرتشوال شيلف سبيس. تجيب تاخد الايفون بعدين بتنزل تطبيقات عليه، بتدفع للتطبيقات دي وكده، فبيكون ده زي شيلف سبيس يعني فور ديفلوبرز اب ديفلوبرز وكده، انهم يبيعوا لك مور اند مور things that you want. فسيميلرلي احنا عايزين نعمل اليونت دي ك blank canvas او شيلف سبيس يقدر الديفلوبر يتيح الفرصه للمشتري انه يشتري حاجات اكتر هو عايزها بشكل سلس وبشكل سهل. فاول حاجه مثلا you buy a design package. فانت بدل ما تاخد البيت فاضي وكده off the shelf زيه زي البيت اللي جنبه واللي جنبه واللي جنبه، you can choose a design for your apartment or villa. فعندك خيارات مثلا you can choose the standard design, you can choose a slightly higher end architect design, interior design. You can see what your unit can look like عشان يتماشى مع الذوق وإنك تميز your unit وكده عند الشراء يعني at the point of purchase. But let's say we will just take the standard design. And then you move on and you can start getting upgrades to your unit. معلش ده it's very the buyer is customizing the unit.
So this is customization.
Personalizing the unit, exactly. فناو مثلا أنا على البلكونة هنا I can have this tree أو I can have this barbecue area. Let's take the tree. هو بس الريزولوشن شوية غريب فمخرب الاكسبيرينس شوية. بعد كده مثلا داخل الوحدة ممكن I can buy this feature wall. دي الفيتشر وول مثلا لو اشتريتها بعد ما اشتري الوحده ممكن تكلفني 9000 ريال ويجي عمال يشتغلوا فيها وكده، بس لو اشتريتها مع اليونت اوريدي هتيجي مثلا 3000 ريال وتيجي بتتسلم في نفس وقت تسليم اليونت. اتفضل. لا قصدي يعني لو اشتريتها بعد ما استلمت الوحده وجبت مقاول وكده شغلانه، وهتجيب واحد يجي وهتدفع زياده غالبا عن لو خدتها من المطور مباشره at the time of handover للوحده.
دي احنا add on على
بالضبط، دي upgrades that you can choose. في
من المطور نفسه هو يعطي الاختيارات.
صحيح. فالمطور بقى بيحدد انا ايه الخيارات اللي عايز اديها للمشتري واللي عايز اوفرها ويقدر يبيعها، لان الوحده اصبحت شيلف سبيس، فالمطور يقدر يبيع اثاث، ديزاين باكج، فيت اوت، وات ايفر.
لان هذا اصلا التطبيق هذا بيكون عند المطور.
ما هو المطور بالضبط ده
ما هو يعني بيعرض الخيارات.
صحيح.
ويصير آسف.
بالضبط. مش بس كده، انا هرجع لموضوع الوسيط العقاري كمان له اهميه كبيره في الجزئيه دي، لان المطور هيدي الوسيط لينك خاص بيه. فالوسيط لما يدي اللينك ده للمشتري الداتا بتتربط، بنبقى عارفين ان المشتري ده جاي من خلال الوسيط ده وهكذا. والوسيط بيبقى عنده هاي كواليتي ماتيريال يديها للمشتري، بدل ما يبعت له واتساب وبروشور لو ريزولوشن واخطاء في بيانات الوحده. he gets the link من المطور مباشره، لكن اللينك دي مربوطه وخاصه بالوسيط. فموضوع البروكر ده مهم جدا. هنا مثلا this upgrade is interesting. الابجريد ده اللي هو الايونيك اير بيوريفاير، ده زي في الدكتنج بتاع الاي سي، هو غير ده منقي فحاليا احنا we buy air purifiers. ممكن I can buy an air purifier أحط أو أخليها integrated في البيت كده عشان ما تبقاش يعني separate unit. Now في حاجة الاير purifier دي عليها MEP implications. MEP implications. Can you explain what an MEP implication is ولا should I explain it? MEP is mechanical, electrical and plumbing. اللي هو السيستمز اللي في البيت. فالتكييف مثلا has an MEP load والاير purifier ده عنده MEP load. فالسيستم ده it's smart انه البناية دي مثلا يمكن 50 من ال 100 وحدة المتاحة هم بس اللي ممكن ياخدوا الاير purifier. لو وصلنا لل 50 خلاص كده وصلنا للكاباسيتي فلازم هي تقفل الاوبشن ده من المشتري اللي بعد كده. فهو it automatically smartly decides which options are available for buyers. يعني تفصيلة صغيرة. اوكي. ده يعني ده مثال عن منقي الهواء. ف this air purifier for example you can buy it separately as a unit after buying the residential unit, or you can have it integrated into your house as an option and you pay more for it. When you integrate it in the house as an option, the developer has to keep track of how many of these he can offer. Maybe not every apartment can have an air purifier. When you reach the capacity limit, the system automatically identifies. Yani, in short, the system is managing the options, which is very important. Plan.
على خيارات اللي اختارهم مسبقا وكل اختيار هو بناء على تكلفه معينه وانا اتفق معه في البدايه وانفذها على هذا الاساس.
صحيح. ده بس that's one half of what we do. ده الجزء المرتبط بالسيلز اند ماركتنج. انا هرجع للجزء المرتبط بالاركتكتشر اند ديفلوبمنت as well, but this is the sales and marketing component. Then I can add more add-ons like a parking space for example, but most interestingly now I can see my unit. For example, now I put my preferences. So now it offered me all the units that are available for sale that meet my requirements, and they are in green. So all the units that are in green are available for sale because there's integration with the CRM, and they meet my requirements. All the units that are in gray, these are not available, yani they're sold, or they don't meet my requirements. So it's now offering me this unit, 1305. I can look at the floor plan for this unit. I can look at the terrace view from this unit. يعني لو طلعت البلكونة and I look out, this is what I will see. And this is a real render on our GIS system that you know exactly what your view will be like. And of course, I can look at all the amenities that are in the building, public areas وهكذا. And now, even more importantly, I can take a tour of the unit. طبعا, going back to the question earlier, if this unit was already built, بسيطة. You can just go see it, or someone will take a video and send it to you. But if the unit is not built, how are you going to see it? It doesn't exist. And so we are able to render that unit as configured, يعني with the options you selected as the buyer. So we take a tour of the unit, and it opens a 3D environment, which will render and animate for us this unit that we are interested in buying. And I just wish the resolution of the screen was better so you can see more. احنا لسه stealth. We're working B2B مع a few developers في دبي وفي الرياض. So this is the unit. This is my unit that I configured. You can see the tree that I put on the terrace is here. When I navigate inside to go into the living room, I can see this feature wall that I chose at the time of purchase. I can look at the kitchen. And all of this is 3D running on Unreal Engine, being rendered on my MacBook Air. يعني. You can even run it on a mobile. And it's all 3D. لا ممكن تتحرك يعني احنا we can ال transition from one room to the other is saved. But once you're in a room, you can move around. You can move around. It's a fully rendered 3D environment. Now آخر خطوة وبعدين I will go into the design and development tool which is deep tech. آخر خطوة هي الترانزاكشن. يمكن دي أهم خطوة بالنسبة لبعض الناس. Yes.
Which level of details we can customize, like furniture, artworks, accessories, ولا the systems, يعني
Everything. Everything that you can create a 3D rendered asset for can be customized. Actually, we can even customize the walls. يعني when you look at this floor plan, I didn't show you the option of moving walls, but this is a parametrically generated floor plan. يعني if I want to make the living room bigger and the primary bedroom smaller, I can move any non-load bearing or non-structural wall. It's highly customized. Everything that can be customized can be configured to be customized by the developer for the buyer.
Based on developers' requirements.
Based on what the developer wants to do. يعني the degrees of freedom that the developer adds, the more degrees of freedom the developer adds, it makes the developer's life harder. فهو لازم يختار يعني يوازن بين بيصعب على نفسه وبين he's differentiating himself in the market وبيدي المشتري يعني خدمة مميزة. You have to do this balancing act. So moving walls, for example, that's complicated, but it's possible because we parameterize the entire unit. Every detail in this unit is an equation, a math equation, geometric equation. Yes, that's the point, exactly. فحضرتك ربطت دلوقتي الموضوع. The last step, perhaps, which is important to many people, is the transaction. So now this will look like, if you've bought a car recently, أنا سألتكم لو حد اشترى عقار، بس لو حد اشترى actually سيارة online, سواء تسلا أو بورشا أو غيرها, this is how the experience looks like. You go, you configure your car, you customize it, you take a look at it 3D. فهنا now we're at the point of purchase. You see the details of the unit. You can scroll down. You see the list of the add-ons والتسعير. هنا بقى قصدي remember when I كنت أقول لك 9000 ريال أو 3000 ريال على سبيل المثال. هنا الفيتشر وول اللي احنا أضفناها في الليفينج روم دي دلوقتي هتكلفني مثلا في المثال ده $8000. دي لو أنا اشتريتها بعد ما استلم الوحدة هتكلفني أكيد أكتر من كده، ووقت بقى وعمال يدخلوا البيت to customize وهكذا. To get it customized from the developer is these are the options that I selected. These are some instructions around next steps. يعني أكلم مثلا حد من الديفلوبر، أروح السيلز سنتر، هم يبعتوا لي الأوراق أيا كان. وهنا we can take a reservation as well, credit card, bank transfer أيا كان, just to reserve the unit. Okay.
Payment gateway.
Yes, of course. This is the first. وطبعا we also can outline the ownership steps من the initial reservation all the way to handover, and we even hand over a digital twin. دي حاجة مش هيكون عندنا وقت نتكلم عنها. We won't have time to talk about it today. But with the handover of the keys of your actual physical unit, you get a digital twin as well, because all the data is in our system and we've effectively built it up from a digital twin. And it takes you through the ownership steps from reservation until move-in and operation thereafter. Digital twin هو it's a representation للوحدة in virtually. It allows you to see what assets you have. Yes, الوحدة اللي اشتريتها. فمثلا على سبيل المثال جبت مقاول بعد كده عشان يغير حاجة، تديله الرسومات دي من خلال الديجيتال توين. بعتها لشخص ممكن تديله الديجيتال توين فيعرف المساحات عشان يجيب أثاث وهكذا. فالديجيتال توين is a useful digital asset representation of the physical asset.
This is the ownership steps from transaction perspective or from construction and progress perspective?
Everything. So from the minute you put the reservation until you move in and even afterwards, you have guidance. Every purchase can be slightly different. يعني مثلا لو حد اشترى وحدة من برنامج الإسكان مثلا, there's steps مع الجهات الداعمة وكده. We can put it here. So we customize the workflow depending on if the developer is selling للانترناشونال بايرز لغير السعوديين. Now you can sell to international buyers في السعودية. If he's selling to a beneficiary مستفيد من برنامج الإسكان، كل ده الجيرني بتاعه بتختلف. We map that journey. Integration مع المورجج مع البنوك للتمويل العقاري وهكذا. So these are different journeys. So we map the journey here عشان المشتري بالذات if he's a first time buyer has guidance. فنقدر نمشيه في المراحل الownership. تمام. This is the first module. ده كده is يعني the part that pertains to sales and marketing. This is called the virtual showroom. The second module, تفضل. Yes. احنا every implementation for a developer خاصة بالdeveloper ده. بيانات رسوماته، بيانات وحداته، وبيانات his customers عملائه is خاصة بالdeveloper ده secured, not shared, proprietary. أيوة فهمت قصدك. Yes. What we looked at is the B2C يعني module. Now we will look at the module اللي بنقول under the hood يعني inside the engine which is اللي بيخص الdeveloper. For now this we will shift gears completely. Now I am a development manager working in a development company. دار الأركان، رافال، ريتال، روشن أيا كانت. And I'm in the development team. I'm a technical guy. عادة بكون مهندس مدني أو معماري. عندي team in the development team. واشتغل مع third party architecture firms و PMCs وكده during the delivery of the project. I'm now the development manager. This is my digital factory dashboard. طبعا بيكون the branding of the developer here وكده. This is just a demo. Once I log in, once the development manager logs in, and I will actually log in and show you the live system. عادة people advise never to do a live demo in a open, but I will do a live demo. I will take the risk. Well, hopefully it works. So now, I'm in one of the development companies. For the sake of this example, let's just call the developer Neighbor. I'm one of the development companies. My name is Neighbor. This is my digital factory dashboard. What do I see on my dashboard? And this will be much, much more technical than the previous virtual showroom that I showed you. Stay with me. The first thing I see on the left side of the dashboard is the feasibility studies and projects that I'm working on as a development manager. Then on the right, I see a little video that gives me some video about how it works. And the most important section out of these four sections is this section, the building types. But before I get into that, the last section is the sites. This is my land bank. I'm a developer. I have a land bank. I have parcels of land that I want to go and develop residential units on. This is that land bank. For the purpose of this demo, I just have 3 plots. But usually big developers, they have a big land bank, multi-city وكده. It's a drop-down menu. I pick the city, وبعدين I pick the master plan, then the phase in the master plan, and so on. Now the part that I said is the most important part is this part, the building types. This is where the magic happens. This is Neighbor's core business. This building types is a parametric model of the building. It's much richer than a digital twin even. This is a representation in code of the architect's design. Yani we take an architect's design and we encode it in the system. And now the system understands every relationship between every line, every floor, every ceiling, every area, NSA, GFA, BUA, about this building. Once we digitize that architect's design, I say we bring it to life in code. We bring it to life in code, which means now we can generate a seemingly infinite number of combinations of that design. أعلي الطوابق, I can make it higher, I can add floors, I can make the footprint bigger, I can rotate it, I can put it on a different site and make it adapt to the new site. This is really where the enormous productivity in the design stage comes from, because you design it once and then you use it over and over again. And this is effectively what we mean by productization. You now generate a pre-designed, pre-engineered building. It becomes your product, and you deploy that product over and over again. It's not copy-paste. Every time the product gets deployed, it's different. It's adapting to the site, it's changing shape, and very importantly, it also, you have to change the, you don't have to, but you typically change the facade, so it looks like a new building.
You fix the components and then it fit to the new location?
Yes, yes. We encode, by encoding the design, we effectively create a bucket of Lego parts. Do you all know Lego? We create a bucket of Lego parts. Now you go to a new site, you open your bucket and you build. You go to a new site, you open your bucket and you build. And the system builds. As you will see in a second what I mean. I will show you a demo of this. We will make a building together. What usually takes an architect 4 to 6 weeks, we will do together now in a couple of minutes in this demo. So this is why I wanted to emphasize الجزئية the residential building types. Okay, let's create a project. As I promised you, we're going to make a building now, so let's make a building. The first thing it asks me, let's give it a name. So this is the Global PropTech Summit Mid-Rise Building Live Demo. Then here, as I said, you pick your master plan, where it's going to be. Dubai, Riyadh, etc. You pick the city. Then you pick which master plan, waterfront, Al-Khuzam, Fursan, whatever. You pick it here. Which phase, and then which site. I have 3 sites that I can pick from. I can pick also on the map. This is a very powerful GIS, as I will show you when we get into the demo now, into the actual building. I'll pick this big, nice big plot on the waterfront. Continue. So now the dashboard created. Welcome to the TGPS Mid-Rise Building Live page, my master plan, my site, etc. But I have no data here because I haven't created anything yet. I haven't created a scenario. Let me create a scenario. Now I'm in the scenario creator. And what I see here is the context of my site. بس مشكلة هنا, I can't see the buttons because of the resolution. It's a very low resolution on this screen. So now this is my site, site 3 that I'm working on, and I see my neighboring 2 sites. And these neighboring sites, I can see technical information about all these sites. Setbacks, building envelope, and many, many more things. And I see the summary of my site here, FAR, site area, etc. And I'm going to put a building on this site. So I have project inputs. Yani for this building, what do I want my mix to be? How many 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom? Let's say I want 40% of this building to be 1 bedroom, and I will lock it. Then I want 45, 2 bedroom. والباقي 3 bedroom, 15%. I want a 1 floor plate strategy. Yani all the floor plates are the same, easier to build, more consistent. And I have a bunch of inputs, financial and non-financial inputs, that I give the system so it can produce for me a building that matches these input requirements. We won't have time to go through all of these right now, but just to give you a sense, this is like parking parameters, 35 meters per bay or 40 meters per bay, podium details, and so on. I won't go into this now. Let's put a structure on our building. So now, time to add structures. I click Add, and here I get all of the building types that I encoded in that important section I told you about. For this demo, we only have 2 building types, but if you're a developer, you have 10, 15 building types that you use. By the way, a building type is a very powerful concept. يعني مثلا, downtown Dubai, which is a very big area, I don't know if you've seen it, tons of buildings, really has 2 building types. Apart from Burj Khalifa, and Burj Khalifa is a one-off, very special. There's 2 building types. You have the mid-rise Old Town, little G+4 to G+7 or 8. And then you have all the high-rises. Almost all those high-rises are the same building type. They have a central core with a certain number of elevator shafts, وهكذا. But so they're different layouts, but they're the same design intent or building type concept. 2 typologies can give you hundreds of buildings. So now I have 2 typologies here, but as I said, as a developer, I'll have many more. I'll pick one of these typologies, residential bars. And now I can see a preview already of my building on the site. I see a preview of it. Here it is. This building because I encoded it, and now I can manipulate it, this building can come in different variations. It can come in a U shape, it can come in a left L, it can come in a right L, it can come in a very simple bar. But then I'm going to do the most interesting, U shape. So I'm going to build a U-shaped building. Then I get to play with these bars, make them bigger, taller, smaller, change the footprint, change the number of floors. طبعا an architect, when he does this very manually over days or weeks of work. But now, because we've parameterized all this and given the architect inputs to play with, and the system takes care of all the computational geometry, it's much faster. Anyone who's gone to architecture school, Akid has almost spent the night in the studio. Yeah, nights in the studio, because every detail, it's so manual, it's so time consuming. Why? A lot of it is tedious calculation. It's not art. A lot of it is tedious. We want the architect to focus on the art. We want to take all the tedious calculations out. But every time you change a floor, you have to check the elevator population, add an elevator. Now you're taking half a structural bay extra. Your whole layout changes. It takes weeks. We will do it in seconds. So now the planning modules, this is the main the main bar. It has 18 planning modules. طبعاً, a planning module is half a structural bay, which is in this design is 4 by 4.5 meters. The architect knows this, who's working on this. 6 levels. Let me make it higher. Let me make it 8 levels instead of 6. طبعاً, I can leave both checked and it'll create 2 scenarios. So let's keep it simple. So 8 levels, I've raised it. Then I'll go to this left bar, and I want to make this left bar closer to the water. So I'll make it a bit longer. If instead of 11 planning modules, I'll make it 12. It'll get a bit longer. And it's already 11 floors, so that's fine. And the right bar, I'm going to leave it small for now. I'm going to leave it like this. Again, I'm so sorry that the resolution is not bad. Usually this is huge, and you can see everything. It's just the screen that we have today. And now I will generate the building. Yani there's many more inputs I can make. It usually takes half an hour to design a building, but خلاص, enough for now. I'll generate. Yes, if you remember, and فوق في input parameters, what did I say? I said, give me 40% 1 bedroom, 45% 2 bedroom, 15% 3 bedroom. But how many units depends on the volumetric design that I just gave it. How many planning modules, how many floors? It will figure this out. هنشوف دلوقتي. Let me click generate. When I click generate now, it's if you gave these instructions to your architect. So instead of clicking generate, you tell him, here's what I need. He will go, he will come back 4 weeks to do what we just did while I was talking. Without exaggeration, this is not a toy model, this is not an approximation. What you saw right here get generated in front of our eyes on a building that we made for the first time is a real building. Now let me take you through what we're looking at here. First of all, you were asking, كم وحدة, 1 bedroom, one. Here is the development summary. طبعا I can download a report, but let's just look at the summary for now. I have the GFA, I have the utilization of the land. And I'm using 54% or 54% of the allowable land GFA. So I can double this building almost and still be within regulation. My efficiency is 86%, very good actually. Here's my built-up area. Here's the units. I was able to generate 165 units. Because I told it I want 40% 1 bed, 45%, it was able to come extremely close actually. I'm surprised how close. So I have 66 1 beds, 72 2 beds, and 27 3 beds. It can't be exact because it has to adapt to a grid. It has to adapt to a grid. But this is the closest I've ever seen it. يعني we almost came exact. I'm surprised. أول حاجة GFA utilization أهو 54% لا ما هو land you can add بقى more floors, you can add a whole other building and it will change. بس اللاند GFA utilization ده في الافكشن بلان بتاع الارض اصلا يعني في الصك بتاع الارض. It's a given. Now what you're seeing here in this building, الdark units, انتوا شايفين dark red? Yeah. This dark red is the 3 bedrooms. Then the 2 bedrooms is the next dark, and then the light one is the 1 bedrooms. The gray ones are the shafts. So this is an elevator shaft, and this is a stair core. So why is there a stair core here? Yes. DDA, this is a Dubai example. These are civil defense requirements for fire escape. So why don't I have a stair core on this bar? Because there are stairs in the shaft, in the elevator shaft, and it's close enough. So what happens if I make this longer? Actually, that's a good point. And this is where you shouldn't do a demo live because I can get embarrassed. So let's see if it will work. I will take the risk. I'm going to go from 6 planning modules, yani the length of this bar is 6 to 9. I'll make it longer. What I'm trying to do is make sure the far apartments are far from the elevator shaft to see how the system will react. Let me remove this scenario now. 9. Generate. طبعا, again, without exaggeration. You tell your architect, make this a bit longer for me. It doesn't come at the end of the day and it's done. It comes in a few days or a few weeks because the whole building has to be rethought out potentially. لا هو ما بيزعلش قوي بيقبض فمش مشكلة. بس yes. Okay. It generated the second scenario. Now I will have it render it. Yes. It added a stair core because it knows in this example it has 3 regulating inputs. The DDA, the Dubai Development Authority, municipality, and the civil defense code is encoded in here. So when you ask it to give you a building, it doesn't give you any building. It gives you a compliant building. When you're building in Riyadh, it takes the Riyadh relevant regulations. When you're building in Jeddah, Jeddah relevant regulations, Shar'iyya, and so on. Now, yes, let's take a look. Yes. So if I click on this shaft, the elevator shaft, it tells me my population as per regulation calculation is 360, so I need 2 elevators. If this goes above 400, I need 3 elevators by regulation. If I need 3 elevators, my shaft needs to be wider, so I'll take half a structural bay more. If I take half a structural bay more, nothing fits in that whole line. I remove the whole building. This system is running like 100 simultaneous variables at once to solve them under constraints and with an optimization. Please.
I have it's a tower.
Yes.
Instead of having 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, I have suite,
Yes.
suite, and so on.
Yes.
The different units. So I can module the unit,
Yes.
and then I can.
Yes. Very good question. So, the unit. You remember the Lego pieces I was talking about earlier? The unit library.
Portfolio building, villa
Yes.
or duplex or something.
That's what a typology is. It's the portfolio of typologies is your typology library, and what a typology is you give us the units and the unit layouts you want to achieve, and then the design logic of that building, and the system takes care of the rest.
Same concept for the mixed.
We're focusing on residential right now. We're doing space budgeting for podium retail, for example, and things like this, but we're focusing on residential right now. Once that is fully fledged, and I'll explain what that means in a second, then we will go to commercial office space and other things.
That financial parameters, what type of parameters you can? No need to have simulation, but
It's in the simulation. I'll show it to you. So you put your cost parameters as detailed as you want to put them, and you put your price parameters as well, average price per square foot, etc., and it outputs that. We're running out of time, so I want to show you one driver of financial parameters, which is the view. The view from a unit is very important. There are several drivers to the price of a unit. One of them is the view, which is the only one I'll have time to show you. There's a unit here. I can't get my, I can't access my my menus to show you this. I'll show it to you in the report. It takes about 30 seconds to generate a feasibility report, a test fit and feasibility report for this building that we just did. And I'm generating scenario 2, which is the second one, when we increased the length and it added a shaft. So as soon as this report generates, it's now rendering on my laptop. We will see it together and you'll see the financials as well.
Yeah, 2 questions. Only towers, or can I do master plan for something like landscape and space?
Any residential units. Towers, villas, yes.
Second one, does it generate drawings from this? Like, can I have
Yes.
CAD drawings? So
Yes.
I can work on it.
Yes, there are three. Yes, you see the DXF here?
Yeah.
This is the first level of drawings. You can open it in Rhino, but there are three levels of drawings that this system generates. First is these concept design drawings, which we have time to show today. What we won't have time to see is the next set of drawings, the schematics. And the final set of drawings is the construction documents that go for IFC. We are also working on a Revit bridge to shop drawings. And so, the last part, which then the as-built as well. As-built and digital twin is at the very, very end. For integrated developers that have a contractor from within, they will be interested in the shop drawings, to go all the way to shop drawings. Others, they will still let the contractor do the shop drawings from the tender documents. Sorry? Right now, we're focusing on architectural and structural, but also facade and balconies is coming up by next year. We have something for facade and balconies, but it's not complete. And MEP, of course, yeah. And for villa communities, there's some more fluid stuff around landscaping, community centers, which we haven't done yet.
For the parking dimension, assume that they give me any dimension. Can I do any amendment?
Yes. So here's the parking inputs. Where's the parking? Here's the parking inputs. This is the amendment for the, where is it? This is the podium, sorry, not the parking. There's an input here where I change the parking dimensions. Now this is the report we generated. This is our project, scenario 2. First, it gives me the location parameters. So the GFA, the land size, the setbacks, etc. Here's our building. This just got generated. This got generated on my laptop now. And like I said, this is scenario 2, where there's the little stair shaft there. And all the development statistics, NSA, BUA, GFA, unit mix. The financial statistics, we didn't go into it, but you give it inputs for both costs and for pricing, and you get your financial snapshot. And there's an output, a CSV, that is much more detailed than this. This is just the feasibility top level, executive level. The view corridors, this is something I didn't have time to show you. We actually do ray casting from every unit and to see what that unit is seeing. So about 200 rays or so from every window in a unit. And we have invisible cylinders on all the points of interest in the GIS. It calculates view score. I wish I had time to show you. This is very cool. And so we create a view heat map. We have the floor plates. This is floors 1 through 5, 6 to 7, 8 through 10, and so on. And we have the unit typologies that are being used. That's all the time we have. This was maybe 10% of the depth of our digital factory. I hope you can appreciate how it's a digital transformation to the core business of development. We think developers are the core gatekeepers of this industry. And with this kind of acceleration of the design stage, hopefully it makes everything downstream much faster, much better. And we care a lot about the architect. This doesn't actually take the architect out of the equation. We're not architects. The architect still needs to create the first design. The architect still needs to design do the art, the facade, and so on. And most importantly, it's what they get paid the most for perhaps, is the AOR. The architect still has to sign off. So they're a very important gatekeeper. And with that, I think we come to the end of our session. Any final questions, comments, ideas before we leave, please?
How is the dealing with كيف تتعامل مع developers هو subscription based?
Yes. It's a setup fee and a license fee. So it's a subscription. First, you pay once to encode the typology, but you do that only once. And then you pay annually to maintain that typology in your typology library as a developer. Yes, there's the two modules. The one I showed you at the beginning, the virtual showroom, and the one I showed you at the end, the digital factory. We have a third module that I didn't show you for CFOs and so on, for capital planning and risk management.
But it's, you have to pay once and then subscription after.
Yes, you pay a setup fee and then an annual subscription fee. So that's, please, I think my email is here. It's not very clear because of the background, but feel free to reach out to me. I'm Nabil@neighbor.com. And I'd be happy to give you a more detailed demo, tell you a bit more about how this can be useful to you, whether you're an architecture firm or a developer or a development manager or an investor. But the most important takeaway from our session today is the importance of using technology in productizing our residential delivery and making our industry a lot more efficient than it is today. And الاركيتكت المعماري لسه the art remains, yeah, but we create the system, the facade system that allows for the the plug and play of compliant facades to the functional designs. That's part of the productization journey as well. So we encode that system as well. So the architect has a framework to draw the exterior of the building, and it will fit exactly on the functional design. عافيك. Thank you very, very much. Adopt technology more. يعني احنا we are very behind كقطاع in تبني لل real estate technologies and PropTech and construction tech. This is the number one. Always be on the lookout for opportunities وفرص to digitize. سواء you're in sales, أو you're in marketing, أو you're in deep tech development, how you're doing feasibility studies. Everything can be done more efficiently if we adopt the right technologies. And I didn't have a chance today to talk about our AI roadmap and so on. فإن شاء الله يبقى لنا فرصة تانية. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.